Most people who work night shifts can tell you the same thing. Once the sun goes down, the world feels thinner. Quieter, like fewer rules apply. That was especially true for Marcus. He was 23, working nights at a distribution warehouse just outside a mid-sized Oregon town. The kind of place that moved freight nobody thought about. Appliances, boxed furniture, bulk food pallets. The shift ran from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., and most nights blurred together. Long concrete aisles, forklifts humming, the smell of oil and cardboard. Everyone tired. Everyone just trying to get through it. Marcus didn't have a car. He used to bike, but after one too many close calls on the dark highway shoulder, he stopped. For a while, he relied on coworkers for rides. That fell apart fast. Night shift schedules don't leave much room for favors. That's why when a driver offered him a ride home one morning, Marcus didn't think twice. The guy pulled up just after shift change, as workers were clocking out and drifting toward the parking lot in small, quiet groups. The vehicle was an older white sedan, clean but forgettable. The driver leaned out the window and called Marcus by name. "You headed toward Oak Ridge?" he asked casually. Marcus hesitated. "Yeah." "Hop in, I'm going that way." The guy looked normal enough. Mid-30s maybe. Short beard, work jacket with no logo. He had one of those faces that didn't stand out, like someone you'd swear you'd seen before even if you hadn't. The ride was quiet. Not awkward, just subdued. The driver didn't pry, didn't ask personal questions. He talked about the weather, about how night shifts messed with your sleep. He dropped Marcus off right in front of his apartment complex, wished him a good morning, and drove off. Marcus told himself it was just a coworker from a different department, someone he hadn't met yet. The next night it happened again. Same car, same driver, same timing. "You don't mind if I catch a ride again?" Marcus asked. "No problem," the guy said like he'd been expecting it. This time, the driver mentioned the warehouse by name, talked about how management had been cutting corners lately, complained about the conveyor belts jamming. Marcus relaxed after that. You don't fake details like that unless you work there. For the next 2 weeks, the rides became routine. Some nights, the driver wouldn't say much at all. Other nights, he talked just enough to keep the silence from getting heavy. He never played music, never used his phone. Always drove the same route, never missing a turn. Marcus noticed little things. The driver never wore a badge, never mentioned a shift, never complained about being tired, and somehow, he was always there. Even on nights when Marcus stayed late for overtime. Even when the warehouse ran behind and people clocked out in small waves instead of all at once. The car would be waiting at the edge of the lot. Marcus finally asked him one night, half joking, "Man, what shift are you even on? I never see you inside." The driver smiled, eyes still on the road. "I work nights," he said. "Yeah, but like, where?" There was a pause. Not long, but noticeable. "Different part of the operation," the driver said. "You wouldn't recognize it." That should have been the moment Marcus pushed. Instead, he laughed it off. Night shift makes you tired. Tired people don't overthink things. The first real crack came during a smoke break. Marcus was outside with 2 coworkers when one of them mentioned his ride situation. "You still biking home?" the coworker asked. "Nah," Marcus said. "Guy named..." He stopped. Realized he didn't actually know the driver's last name. Dave, I think. He's been giving me rides." Both coworkers went quiet. "Dave from where?" one asked. "I don't know, he works nights." They exchanged looks. "There's no Dave on nights," the other said. "Not anymore." Marcus felt a small chill but shrugged it off. Maybe a temp, or security. Security, it turned out, was contracted, and none of them drove white sedans. The next night, Marcus stayed after his shift ended. He waited inside by the vending machines and watched the parking lot through the glass. The white sedan rolled in at 6:03 a.m. The driver sat there, engine running, waiting. Marcus didn't go out right away. After a minute, the driver stepped out of the car and looked toward the entrance. Not angry, not impatient, just expectant. Marcus felt his stomach tighten. He waited another minute before stepping outside. The driver smiled when he saw him. "Everything okay?" "Yeah," Marcus said. "Just got held up." The ride was quieter than usual. Halfway home, Marcus noticed the driver take a different turn. A subtle one, but wrong. "Hey," Marcus said, trying to keep his voice light. "That's not the way." The driver didn't slow down. Roads closed up ahead. It wasn't. Marcus could see the intersection clearly. No cones, no signs. The driver turned anyway. They drove for another minute before Marcus spoke again. "You can drop me here." The driver sighed, like Marcus had asked something inconvenient. "You're safer if I take you all the way," he said. Marcus's heart started to pound. "Just pull over," Marcus said. "Now." The car slowed, stopped at the curb. Marcus didn't wait. He got out and shut the door hard. The car sat there for a second, then pulled away without another word. The next morning, Marcus didn't see the sedan. Or the next. Relief settled in, heavy and shaky. 2 weeks later, police came to the warehouse. They were asking questions about an old hit-and-run. A case from years ago involving a night shift employee who'd vanished after clocking out. His car had been found abandoned not far from the warehouse. One officer asked Marcus if he recognized the name. Dave Mercer. Marcus said yes. When they showed him a photo, his chest went tight. It was the driver. The officer told him the rest in a low voice, like he didn't want it carrying through the building. Dave Mercer had died 3 years earlier, struck by a vehicle on a back road near the warehouse. The case was never solved. What unsettled Marcus most wasn't that the man was dead. It was what the officer said next. Dave had been known for giving coworkers rides home, especially the ones without cars. Especially the ones who stayed late. Marcus quit 2 weeks later. To this day, some night shift workers swear they still see a white sedan idling at the edge of the lot just before dawn. And sometimes, when the building is quiet and the forklifts are off, someone will hear an engine running outside long after everyone's gone.